I just love all that stuff they do at the end credits. It's so captivating, and they just do all these neat cinematic things at the very end of the movie during the final credits. Like, that whole section is far superior to anything in the movie. So you know you're in trouble when your end credits are exponentially better than your entire feature film. Hi, my name is Malcolm. Thank you for being here. I thought I'd talk movies on a Friday night. I did see Renfield on Wednesday. If you're heading out to see Renfield, pick another movie because, wow, this is a real stinker. There's no sugarcoating it. You think you could rely on Hollywood. Just give me a decent movie that I can watch and have a few laughs with, and no one would be upset. There would be no complaints. But here we go, Renfield. You've got Nicolas Cage in the dream casting of Dracula, okay? No arguments there. That's amazing. But the problem is the rest of the movie, and that's a problem because Nic Cage is only in, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes of it. I didn't have my timer on, but I would be amazed if it was much more than that. And he has like 3 intro scenes, and then he has his big scene in the third act. So, that's it. So if you're coming to get your Cage on, you're going to be left wanting, and because the rest of the movie is garbage. I mean, it's just useless. It's kind of worse than a mid-level streaming movie. It's like bottom-tier streaming all the way. You've got Nicholas Hoult playing Renfield, Dracula's familiar, his manservant, and he's a great actor. He's lovely. Seems like a lovely chap, a really beautiful person. But he's just acting opposite a cardboard cutout of a human being, otherwise known as Awkwafina, who is a stand-up comedian first and last because there's nothing else going on with her. I guess she hasn't parlayed her Shang-Chi dollars into some acting classes because she sure could use some, and I don't mean that derogatorily, I mean that professionally. She needs to take some classes where she learns how to emote and connect and make eye contact and be a human being who can listen and respond, not a joke machine delivering one punchline after another in lieu of being a human being. So yeah, the story is so trite. It's like they have this recovery group for codependency. Yeah, 1980s called. They want their recovery groups back. Codependency, really? Because Renfield is codependent on Dracula, and Dracula has this magic blood which can save anybody. So, goodbye to stakes. No, not those kind, the screenwriting kind. Goodbye to those because there aren't any in this movie. Everyone has a magic way out in this film, and to say any more would spoil it. But let's just say we don't really care about these characters to begin with. So, magic or no magic, whatever, we just don't even care. There's the whole antagonist situation with the most stereotypical conglomerate of boobs known as bad guys, led by Ben Schwartz, which is just an embarrassment to acting and to movies in general. I guess the guy's a really good agent or something, because what is going on? And then you've got the matriarch, who's the woman from The Expanse. She was in that Fog movie with Ben Kingsley and Jennifer Connelly back when. Yeah, she's great, but she's just become a bit of a hack TV actress, I guess. She's just posing and using her grovelly voice, and it just really doesn't land. There's nothing going on there. And then you have all these pyrotechnics, this comedy horror. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Exploding blood bags every 10 minutes to stand in for heads and bodies, just like, there's more barbecue sauce in this movie than at Costco, I'm sure. It's just, or maybe they bought out a Costco and just blew up all the barbecue sauce for this movie. It's not entertaining. I don't know, it doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, so you're left with trying to get your jollies off watching Nicolas Cage be the most Nicolas Cagey Dracula you can imagine. And that's what you got. So, yeah, 20 minutes. If it's worth the rest, then that's what you got. It's funny, 2023 seems to be a race to the bottom of Antman 3 being the litmus test. Is your movie If you have a shit movie, is it good or is it as good as? I can make sentences. Stick with me here. We'll make a sentence. Is your Ant-Man, is your movie better or worse than Ant-Man? So I think that's the new bar for 2023. And yeah, well, we just have a new contender for worse than Ant-Man 3, and that is Renfield. Welcome to the Sub-Ant3 Basement Club. I guess if you're the worst, maybe the honor is to be at the very bottom of it. So yeah, right now you're at the bottom of it, the worse than Ant-Man 3. I mean, we're 4 months into 2023, and I think we can count the good movies on like 3 fingers, you know. John Wick 4, I think I'll just count that 4 times and call it a day because I can't even think of a movie, mainstream Hollywood release movie that is anything to write home about so far this year. So correct me in the comments, please. I'd like to know if you have another great movie of 2023. I'm blanking right now. I did see John Wick 3 times. Thank you for being here. We're talking about Renfield, and when you dump on a movie, you want to try and say one good thing about it. Some of the scenes are well lit. I'll say that. There are some good lines actually. Actually, my favorite line is there's a fight scene early on where Renfield meets Awkwafina, and of course he automatically has John Wick level martial arts skills, as do many of the other people in this film, which I thought quite laughable, given the authenticity of the John Wick series. Trying to shoehorn that into your low-budget dinkus of a movie called Renfield is really quite laughable. Oh yeah, so there's this one line where, so Nicholas Hoult, like I said, he has these John Wick martial arts powers. He takes down like a dozen bad guys all in one, and he's like whipping fucking dinner plates and doing all this martial arts and stuff. And I guess he hacks this bad guy. He hacks 2 of his arms off at once with this dinner plate or whatever. And Awkwafina says at some point, was that you? Did you just sever a man's arms with a decorative serving platter? And he's like, yeah, I might have done that. That moment was pretty funny. I like that moment. What else was good? What else was good? Renfield. Yeah, the makeup was really good on... the makeup and the production design on Dracula's Lair was pretty good. I like that. All those blood bags, that was good. When we first meet Dracula when he's convalescing, his face is like peeling off. That makeup was pretty cool. I like that. Of course, Nicolas Cage is really good. He's so believable and watchable. So that's obviously great. So, I guess for me, this is like I can only give it 1 star because it's worse than Ant-Man 3. And I gave Ant-Man 3 1 star. So, I mean, even if I raise Ant-Man 3 to 1.5 stars, I'm not raising this to 1.5. So, sorry, Renfield, you're getting 1 star, and that's it from me. Make a better movie, man. It's not that hard. Write a better script. Codependency? Really? 12 steps? I mean, did I say in this take, did I say 1980s called and want their script back? Because... man, do they ever want their script back? Because we don't want it anymore. We've seen enough of that tripe. Yes, so Renfield, the funny thing about Renfield, the irony is that the end credits are actually very artful, and there's like I just love all that stuff they do at the end credits. It's so captivating, and they just do all these neat cinematic things at the very end of the movie during the final credits. Like, that whole section is far superior to anything in the movie. So, you're in trouble when your end credits are exponentially better than your entire feature film. Yeah. Thank you for being here. I feel like I wish I had more to say about this movie, but honestly, I don't think it's worth the time for me to research and come up with stuff to talk about this movie. If Cage is the only reason you're coming to see this, you're going to see it anyway. If you're coming to see it as a general audience member where you're like, yeah, I don't mind Nicolas Cage, he's all right, whatever. Sometimes it's hit and miss with him. But I don't think anyone comes to these movies hoping Nicolas Cage will be the most over-top version of himself. I think most people would want him to be closer to what he did in Pig, which was a really moving performance. That's not what we're going to get here. And so people who just want to have a fun movie, like unless you're really just tuned right the F out and, you're just baked and you just want to laugh at dumb stuff, with no consequences and no story, just random dumb shit. If random dumb shit is your definition of a good night out, I'm pretty sure you might actually enjoy this movie, and more power to you. I'm just rarely in that kind of mood ever anymore, so it did not land for me. And I want a bit more. I want character, I want story. Those are the two things I want most. And yeah, I don't really get off on just watching dumb shit like barbecue sauce exploding and people with ridiculous martial arts skills and people who magically, have escape all circumstances. Yeah, that's not very interesting to me. And terrible acting is not interesting at all to me whatsoever. So yes, 1 star, and I'm out. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. It is my intent to make some more videos and get a little bit more consistent. And I just want to thank all my new subscribers. You have inspired me to come back and make some more videos. I've been focusing on my written reviews, and I started a Substack because I really want to unpack movies and really understand them. My background is in film and television, acting and editing, and sort of a jack of all trades, if you will, and I really like to understand movies from every angle. So that is why I'm here, and I like to share my knowledge with you all, because if I just keep it to myself, then do I really know anything? That's questionable on any given day. At any rate, let's wind this up. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, and if you're going to see Renfield, let me know what you think of the movie. Was it worth your time? I personally think it was a waste of time. And those movies when you're sitting there and you're like, man, I could be doing 1,000 other things right now, and probably 900 of those would be watching a better movie than this. And the other one would be sitting in a park bench where I wouldn't even be self-conscious because I'd be looking at a squirrel running up a tree, and I'd be thinking about life and seasons and trees and grass and wind and clouds and people and spaces and architecture. I'm not thinking of any of that when I'm sitting in front of Renfield. All I'm thinking about is, man, what a shit show. Somebody got paid to do this. Why? And that's me out. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, I love y'all. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you on the next one. Ta-da.